This, everybody, is the brand new Adidas Adizero Prime X Strung 3. Okay team, so here it is, the brand new Prime X3 Strung, and I'm a very lucky boy to have these. So in this video we're going to be talking about what's new here, we're going to be talking about all this crazy stuff, I'm going to tell you how I found it and what it's like as an everyday runner using this thing, and I'll wrap it all up at the end and give you some proper consumer advice. So yes, I'm a very lucky boy. The guys at sportshoes.com and Adidas were very kind and they got me this shoe nice and early, and ahead of the embargo date. And what that's meant is I've been able to get some good mileage in it, including a nice long run, and we've done a few other bits and bobs in the shoe as well. And I have been having a hell of a lot of fun in this shoe. So now before we get into the stats and features, let's get the disclaimer out of the way. And thanks very much for watching it. I know it's a pain, but we do need to do it. And now let's dive into the stats and features, which is going to be extremely long as I try and explain what's going on here. Okay team, so this shoe features 3 layers of Light Strike Pro. It's an improved compound. We remain 50mm of stack in the heel down to 43, so that's a 7mm drop. We've got a new tuned up strung upper, which is strengthening in the areas you need it, so like the supporting the midfoot and the heel. And then you've got a little bit more flex up front in the toe box. Wrapping all that up, you've got a knitted tongue bringing it all together. We've got a carbon plate just under the first layer of Light Strike Pro, and that's helping with the propulsion underfoot. We've then got Energy Rods 2.0. Now that's embedded into the midsole. Now these are the polymer infused carbon fibre rods. Now that's embedded, like I said, into the midsole to help with that snappiness and toe off. We've got a new integrated rocker point to help and improve running economy. We've got Conti rubber and Light Strike on the outsole. Now in terms of the weight, using the sample sizes, the X3 is 275 grams and the X2 is 306 grams, so it's lost a bit of weight. This UK 9.5, my ones are 300 grams. Now I think that's about it, so let's take a closer look. So here's our carbon plate on the top, and it extends all the way to the back. There's your Energy Rods 2.0, like I said, polymer infused carbon fibre energy rods that are running the length of the shoe. Here's our new improved strung upper, and like I mentioned, it's strengthening the points you need it, so like the midfoot and the heel. That helps with the support in the shoe which you need with this massive 50mm stack. We've got the 3 layers of Light Strike Pro. See them? Yeah, you've got that big bulge of it there, but you've got 3 layers. 50mm of stack. The laces are usual Adidas standard, and I'll come on to that. There's our knit tongue. Conti rubber and light traction. We've got some bits carved out on the bottom to try and save some weight. And have a look at the profile of it. Isn't it just amazing? Okay, let's talk about the ride. So like I said, I got this nice and early, so thanks again to guys at sportshoes.com and Adidas. And what that's allowed me to do is do multiple things in it, including a long run. And the shoe, well, it's just a hell of a lot of fun. And of course it's unstable. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is the most stable shoe in the world. It's not. But it is surprisingly stable for the stack height. Does that make any sense? You would think that at 50mm you'd be like Bambi on ice. But it's weirdly not. Now, of course, this shoe benefits the more you're down here, all right? The more you're hitting this big fat pad of Light Strike Pro, the more the ride comes alive. If you are a heel striker and back here, you're going to have one hell of a day. It's going to be like you're on one of them roads and you're about to fall off the edge. Do you know the ones I mean? Really high up in a mountain, you're like in some dodgy bus and you're about to go over the edge. That's what it's like if you're a heel striker. But if you are somebody who's from like here down to here, you're going to have one of the best days of your life. This thing is so awesome. It's a weird sensation to try and explain, but I'm going to do my best. It is literally like a trampoline under here. You just hit this like coil and go bosh. The harder you can press on it, the more spring you get it's so much fun. But as you decrease in your pace, it does become a little bit wobbly. But like I said, it's not massively unstable for me. I was surprised how stable this was for me. I was expecting to be all over the place, but I wasn't. What this shoe does for me, it just puts a massive smile on my face. Every time I've worn this since I've had it, I've just really enjoyed myself. And on paper, this shoe should not work for me at all. I mean, I should be collapsing all over the place and everything, but I don't know why, but I've really got on with this. I think the full length plate and the energy rods with the Light Strike Pro compound we've got in here just work very well together. And whilst it's a weird sensation banging this and just like, as I said, you're coming off of like a big coil, when it's absolutely, like I said, on point, when you're on that pace that it's really working well for you. So for me, about 8-minute mile and lower, which is about, what, 5:20 per kilometre? No, it's 5-minute kilometres. So 5-minute kilometres and below, this is where this shoe for me works well. If I slip past that, well, I go back to that bus on the cliff. But again, it is surprisingly stable for me. I was honestly thinking this thing's going to be totally nuts. The upper provides surprising amount of support. The laces, as you'd expect with Adidas, aren't very good, but they do provide enough lockdown, let's say, in terms of cinching them up. And actually on the long run I actually had to loose them off because I'd done them so tight because I was so worried about wearing them for a long period of time that I actually had to stop and loosen them off. There is foam in here, so it's pretty comfortable. In fact, it's surprisingly comfortable, this shoe. But this is a shoe that very much benefits from you getting into a groove, into a flow, into a pace that you're just maintaining. If you come out of that pace, then again, it becomes a little bit wild. So before we get into the likes and dislikes, let's try and save you all a bit of money. So like I said, this shoe was sent to me by the guys from sportshoes.com and Adidas. And I've seen it now in a few videos. If you're a FORDY Runs Running Club affiliated member, now that costs about £20 to join, and there's loads of benefits, but one of the big benefits is you get 15% of your shoe purchases at sportshoes.com. You need your URN or your membership number once you've joined FORDY Runs as affiliated member, but you then go over, create an Ultra account, and you can get 15% off your running shoes at sportshoes.com. So that's well worth doing. Right, plug done. Let's crack on. Likes and dislikes. I like the fact that this puts a massive smile on my face every time I've run in it. I love it when I'm gliding along and I'm absolutely nailing it from this point here. I'm loving the strung upper. I really like the outsole. I love the technology. I like Light Strike Pro. I actually like the fact that we've got the full length carbon plate on top to help with the ride in terms of stabilising, but also give the propulsion. And I think the energy rods work well with everything that's gone here to increase that sort of snappiness off the toe. I like the fit and the feel of the shoe, and I like the fact that this is drop weight versus the previous version. Dislikes. Well, first up is the price. I think, you know, the price of shoes is ridiculous. I'm very lucky I was sent this shoe. I probably wouldn't have spent that money on this shoe, so that's a big dislike, okay? But that's just me thinking of you. I don't like these laces. Adidas need to sort their laces out. I don't like the fact that this gathers a little bit if you don't absolutely nail your lockdown. Of course, I dislike it when I'm running at easy paces or that slightly slower paces, which is not designed to do, but if you are in those easy paces and you move towards the hill, well, then you're going to fall off that cliff that I mentioned earlier. The weight is what it is, people. It's 50mm stack with about 1 million different things on here, so it's not a dislike, but I know some of you are going to mention it in the comments. Other than that, that's about it for dislikes. Okay, so where am I now going to use this shoe? Well, firstly, I really want to put this into a half marathon. I did that in one of the versions, I can't remember which one, of this shoe, and I had a great time. So I'm thinking about doing the same thing. I may even use it in a 10K, but would that be a stupid idea? So look, to wrap it up, this is not a shoe for the everyday runner, okay? No everyday runner is going to go out and spend $250, $300, whatever it is, on this shoe. This is a shoe that is specific to certain people. If you like this kind of thing, if you want a shoe that's like totally out there in terms of technology, pushing the limits, making you feel like an absolute hero, but you've got to be on it, like big time on it, then this is a shoe to consider. This is a shoe that if you liked X1 or X2, then you need to buy it because it's a game-changing improvement in terms of the weight, in terms of the feel, the Light Strike, the new introduction of the Light Strike Pro here. They've massively improved the shoe. But for mere mortals, you don't need this shoe. There's no reason to buy this shoe unless you just want to put a massive smile on your face and have a really good time while you're out there running, which actually most of us want to do, don't we, really? But yeah, look, I love it. Okay, I love it for reasons that I don't really understand. I just think it's brilliant. When I was out there, especially on that long run, I had the time of my life in this shoe. I just really enjoy it, and that's all I can say. It's all very selective, and it depends on you as a runner, what sort of person you are. Say, if you're a hill striker, you need to avoid this like the plague. But it's great where running shoes are going, people. The technology is unbelievable. And fair play to Adidas for continually pushing the envelope with these running shoes. But there we go, I don't know what else to add really, other than I just really like it because it puts a smile on my face. But thanks again to the guys at sportshoes.com and Adidas for sending me the shoes super early. I really do appreciate that. Make sure you join as a 40 Rounds Running Club affiliated member. Get that discount and start smashing the life out of sportshoes.com. Don't forget to subscribe. We're still trying to get to 22 million subscribers. I know some of you think these running shoe reviews are boring, but you still got to subscribe. But other than that, team, I shall catch you later.